Hey guys, went to the flea market today and I also find a score on from a garage sale off Craigslist. So I broke it down into little groups here. I'm going to show you the garage sale stuff first, then the flea market stuff after. So everything I'm going to show you right now I picked up for 50 bucks. And it's quite a bit of stuff, so I'm going to go through and show you piece by piece. Let me lift the tripod up to show you this box. So the furthest piece back there is a Craftsman top chest. And a couple little things in there, but I more or less got it for the box. It's got a bunch of stickers on it. I still have to pull out the bottom drawer. There's probably something in it. I heard it rolling around. If you don't know, if you ever get a used box, pull out the bottom drawer and look in it. Usually stuff falls over the years, and you can often find lost tools in there, so definitely do that. So there's that. Now, trying to get this thing to focus here. Okay, then got a Burke bar. Pretty good size. I can't make out the maker mark on it, but it's my second Burke bar. I've never really used the first one, but they're good to have for sure. Alright, so I got a Black & Decker portable grinder. I have this exact model already inside, and it's going to be cleaned up. And you can put a grinding stone or a flapper disc or a cutoff wheel on the end of this, really similar to an angle grinder. And the only difference between this and mine is the switch. Mine has a, sorry about the shadow, mine has a different type of switch. But decent, needs a cleaning, and it'll get that. And a power cord, and it'll get that. Alright, so big bench grinder user, and I think I have six or seven right now at the moment, and if I find them, I grab them. So this is a Ram Tools bench grinder, and it's all metal body. It's got a older wire wheel and a grinding stone already on it. It's missing one of the tool rests, but that's okay. I don't like the shadow. Sorry about the shadow. I don't have a lot of space in the garage, so just bear with me on the shadows and whatnot. So, okay. These are really nothing. I just threw them in the pile just to have them. Got some colored electrical tape and some longer zip ties. And a tube of steel epoxy. So this is like a definitely older and pitted, but it's very cool. It's like a hatchet. It's got an edge right here. I don't really know the correct term for it, but it's got some leather cord on it, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's just old, you know. It's something I'll clean up and hang on a wall somewhere. There's got to be a name for this tool. I just don't know it offhand. But okay. Jeez. Then we got this hatchet. It's a plum, I believe. I'm sorry, I take that back. The other one, there's another hatchet, just the blade, I'll show you in a sec, but the handle's good on this, real good actually, and it's probably a 3-foot handle, somewhere in that neighborhood, but so I'll clean that up and should be nice. Got a, this is a, holy, I tell you, this is like manual labor. It's a 1/2 horsepower General Electric motor, capacitor motor, and it was not really sure what they had this used with, but it was just sitting there, and I grabbed it, put it with the motor stash. You know, you never have too many motors. The cord on it is something else. I'll show you real quick. I don't know what kind of, I mean, this is like, look at that. I don't know what kind of, I would think that that's not sufficient, but. Okay, and the last piece on this table is the Milwaukee, I'm going to angle this tripod down, Milwaukee Sawzall. It's got the, sorry about that, tripod's running away from me here. It's got the metal case. And it's an older corded unit. But it's very cool. It's got a blade chart and everything in there. It's got the manual, some extra blades and whatnot kicking around in there. But I figure this one's probably a USA made model. It's old enough. And believe it or not, I don't have a single Sawzall. I had a cordless DeWalt one at one point, and I got rid of it, but corded Sawzall, and that's part of the lot, so. Okay. Show you one more big piece here, and then I'll go to this table with the hand tools, and we'll go through them. Got this little steel dolly here, and it's a 1,000-pound capacity. It's got a curved, kind of a curved platform, and all steel casters. And, you know, that'd be good for my welding table if I ever have to move that again. So, alright, I'm going to set this thing in position here, and we'll start going through the hand tools. So everything on this table was in the $50 lot as well, with the exception of the fan that's in the corner and the magnetic bowl. So I figure I'll start on the left and we'll go all the way through here. But bear with me because space is, I'm kind of cramped. I got this little vise and it's broken. You see it's broke right there. And I don't know the maker of this. It says it's got a 3N there, and it's it looks like 129036. It's USA made in any event. This side will say 1N and 121057. It's pretty decent. Besides being broke, I'm going to fix that. I'm going to weld that. So I'll show you this when it's done, but I'll get this back together all one piece, weld it real nice. And I'm just looking at the jaws here. They're nice. It's got kind of a unique knurling. It's horizontal knurls. There's no cross knurling, but yeah, the jaws look decent. So yeah, we'll clean it up. I figured I'd rather try to save this than have her throw it out, or they were moving, and you know, she just wanted everything gone. A lot of this stuff belonged to her dad. It wasn't her husband's. So I got a Dremel, lithium Dremel, and I use Dremels all the time with a little baby wire wheel to get to hard to reach spots, or you know, spots that I can't, real tight areas I can't get to with the wire wheel or the bench grinder. So that'd be great to have a cordless one. Got the little Wen. This is a 199, I believe. It's a 199 soldering gun with light. I believe I have two other ones similar to this. They're black though. They don't have the maroon. It's got a maroon plastic housing. Alright, this is a B&C vise, and it's got to be 8-inch. This is ductile iron. Just a decent decent C-clamp. Okay, I got an oiler can, 2 of them actually from her. I'll pull the other one over and show you while I'm on the topic. This looks like a flea style, although it's got a plastic cap, which I've never seen before. This would be my first one with a plastic cap, but this is a pump oiler. It's either a 4 or a 6 ounce. It looks like the it's the original sticker there, but I can't quite make out who the maker is. I think it's a Plews, if I had to guess. But that oiler and this one I meant to clean off the top because I don't see a maker mark, but it's just a regular thumb pump oiler. Blue. This is pretty cool. I got a box of, a little box of, these are all thumb screws. Oop. Made in USA, Boston, Massachusetts. And these are by Sharon Bolton Screw Company. Electro galvanized. So you got a bunch. There's a variety of wing nuts and a variety of thumb screws, all different sizes. So that was a nice little score. You know, these are handy. So I don't think I've ever had quite this many all at one time. So that's cool. They're all in the box still. And this is older. And I hate to, you know, you have to kind of imagine what this would cost. But 200 thumb screws. So I got that. Now we're going to go through the hand tools, and I got 2 of these. I use them as bearing pullers. I have a one already. It's similar. Basically, you know, you just latch that onto the bottom of the bearing and then tighten the bolt. And there's 2, and these are just cheap, no-name ones, but they work. Okay, I got this is a Snap-on CG 250-5. Believe it or not, this is $125 right now on eBay. It's a gear or bearing puller, 2-jaw, and it's got really nice feature that I like about this is that that's spring loaded, so these will stay put on whatever you have them wrapped around, and then you just tighten this bolt like you would any other puller. So I'm going to clean that up, and that's a nice piece. And I just happened to Google it. You know, a lot of times I'll source some of the stuff that I pick up. So got that. This is I'm not quite sure what this is used for, and I can't quite make out the manufacturer, although I think it's USA made. And it looks like as you turn it, these 2 forks will spread, so that could be helpful. And that's about an inch. And then if you wanted to compress something, go counterclockwise with the handle, and they'll close all the way flush, I believe. So, and these are older for sure. Like the handle on them. They'll clean up real nice too. Oh, what does that say? Velcheck maybe? Might be Velcheck. Anyways. This is a knockoff. I just grabbed it because it's unique with the handle. By no means will this will be kept in the garage with my beater ratchets. This won't go inside. All my good ratchets I keep inside. I'm a tool collector as well as a user, but you know, my better tools I bring them inside. Keep them away from the elements, you know, the moisture and whatnot. So these are snap ring pliers. I think they're KD. I have several of these. Yep, they're KD. It says right in the handle. I think I have 4 sets of these in the house, but these are USA made ones. And the bits are interchangeable, replaceable, so I think this is a gun cleaning kit. It's got the handle and it's got sections are all brass. It comes apart. I think it's about 4 sections, and I want to say it's a gun cleaning kit, or at least part of one. I'm not sure. It's just basically an extensions, and on the end it has this little slot in it. Not too sure. I grabbed it. Okay. This is KD Tools, USA made, and it's a flexible. I guess you could put any bit in there you wanted. There's a flathead bit in there right now. And that locks in. Yeah, a couple of little baby C-clamps. This is the B&C, the small one. And this is Craftsman. Looks like a huge section missing there. Okay. Oregon file handle. Not bad. It's wooden handled. I collect these new vise pliers. I have several pairs, but this is a larger pair. And these are great. They're more or less like similar to vice grips. They clamp down. Obviously you can, you know, get right in there and clamp down on something fairly narrow. New Vice, KNUVISE. I picked this wrench up because I like this curved style. I collect the curved style wrenches. I have probably at least one of every wrench ever made. Not really. I have a million wrenches. I have most every wrench imaginable. You know, obviously there's some very rare ones I don't have, but I have a good collection of wrenches. Let's put it like that. I might have jumped out the window saying I have one of every wrench, but I have a ton of wrenches. I grabbed this knife just because it's got the old leather washer handle that needs replacing, but maybe someday I'll clean this up, and it's very razor sharp. Surprisingly, this was just sitting in the toolbox. Okay. Got a little tiny ball peen hammer. These are good for just small little taps. And another one that's slightly bigger and then is all brass. I always get the brass hammers when they're cheap. They're not always cheap. You know, a lot of times these guys want crazy amounts of money. So we got a little variety of different punches and chisels. There's some Stanley. There's, you know, they're all USA made, and some have surface rust that'll be cleaned up. I won't go through each and every one of those. This is looks like a 10-inch, but it's Industro Super. 3/8 extension. And I got a couple of the ratchets here, so that's why I snagged that. And then we have older Snap-on 3/8 extension, and it looks to be about a 6-inch. I like Snap-on tools, don't get me wrong. I just don't buy them new. I don't buy them, period, unless I get them, like, in this instance, like, in a tool lot, cheap. This is a Starrett. It almost looks like a plumb bob. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but it looks like one to me. Okay. These are badly pitted. I'm not sure why I grabbed them, but I probably shouldn't have. I didn't see this. But, you know, this is like a package deal. You know, nothing really cost me anything extra. I just made a huge pile. But I have 3 pairs of these. BMC Manufacturer Company, Binghamton, New York. Binghamton is about an hour south of me. 3/8 ratchet, Napa, USA. Only grabbed it because it was USA. Craftsman USA teardrop ratchet. This is a 1/2 inch. This must be my 8th or 9th 1/2 inch USA Craftsman teardrop ratchet, if not more. Okay, this is a Billings 1/2 inch breaker bar, sliding breaker bar. I got a pretty good collection of these now too. Okay. This is the Plum 3/8 ratchet. And it's in pretty good shape. I don't really come across a lot of these, so. Okay, the next two, these are Industro Super, and there's a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch ratchet. These are cool. They have this area up here exposed. Real nice. So those are nice ratchets. Nice for the collection. Perfect handle number 4. It's got a little bit of a chip on one side of the handle. Otherwise, it's not bad. Okay. This is KD Tools, excuse me, 7/16 ratcheting. This piece here is an old Mac, number P10. It's got really nice knurling on the handle. And they're snap ring pliers. Good shape too. Surface rust, but as far as the tips go, not bad at all. Alright, this is a real nice file handle. And it's got a fuller file in it right now. This is, I cleaned this up ahead of time, but it's just got a thumb screw that secures this little piece here that secures the actual file. And I like this handle a lot. This, it's a little hand vise, and it's made by Parker. And let's see if I can get that to pop up here. Yep. Parker. And there must be a way to, I'm not quite sure how this works. Obviously, you know, you tighten this and it closes the jaws, but there must be a way to mount this or secure this somehow. But really nice. See, it's got this little teardrop shape on the bolt end that locks right in the bottom. So this is cool. I like this a lot. It's about an inch and a quarter on the jaw width. Parker vise. This metal tin was just held some tools. It's nice thick gauge steel though. This will be cleaned up and used. I'll use this to store something. We got a, yeah, this is the plumb. This is a axe head plumb. Obviously no handle, but that's no problem. I'll get one if I don't have one already. Getting quite the little axe collection, you know. I never really planned on any particular piece to collect it. I just end up acquiring lots of every single tool, and as I get more and more, I say, okay, I'll start looking for this, and that's what I do. I love buying lots like this, you know, like 50 bucks, I got all this stuff. You'd never be able to get this retail. I mean, not even close. Not even close. So, you know, every week, you're probably thinking, oh, how do you afford to buy all this stuff? Well, I buy it right. I don't pay a lot for this stuff. I got a handful of drill bits that were in the Craftsman toolbox. So every week I do the same thing. I get my paycheck and I take out the bill money and I put a little bit in the savings, and then I have budgeted a certain amount that I'm going to spend, and I always buy tools. If I don't buy tools, I go to thrift stores and I look for Carhartt clothes. Two things I like: tools and Carhartt clothes. So, you know, that's what I do with my spare money, but I set a budget. I dip into my savings on occasion, but I always replace it. I'll replace it that following paycheck. And I'm real strict with that. I maintain a decent savings, and that way, if shit ever hits the fan, I'm good to go. But about set with this stuff here. Let me finish up. So this is just a weird C-clamp. I can't quite make out the name. I'll get back to you on that as I clean this up. But you see, this will... It's got like a flathead tip for each end, so this would close and be like two flatheads I'm not quite sure why or what this is used for, but the only one I have like it, so I look at it, I pretty much view it as unique, and I grabbed it. And then we got, let's see, these were all in the box, everything I'm going to show you here. Some of these little compasses, they're German made, most of them I think. But I'll check them out later and see what's going on, if anything worthwhile is in the mix. We got these other pieces here. Just a little tiny mirror. No name. This is a little, the ends are curved. I don't know what this is for, but looks older. These were in the box. These aren't something I would just pick up, but this is a nice little ruler here. USA made. It's got the pocket clip. And I'm trying to see if I can find any manufacturer marks on it. Nope. Oh, it was cut. It looks like it was cut on this end. Anyways, that's worthless, more or less. I got this old spoon. That's kind of cool. U.S. Silver Company. Huh. And then this is another one of those, oh, this is Arrow. Arrow USA. One end's got like an arrow tip, and the other end has, I don't know what these are. There must be a purpose for them, but they were in there. Then, it's a set of these, and these look like battery terminal pliers, and you can see these are gone. There's no bringing these back, but this says BS07 Champion Dearment, Meadville. Must be channel lock if I'm not mistaken. Then I got 3 locks. Cylinder locks with keys, and I got these for the boxes. This box I just grabbed doesn't use these, but the Craftsman I picked up the other day has a lock, but there are no keys with the box. So what I'll do is swap out the locks, and then I'll have a keyed box. Real simple. And then we got a bag of various sized hammer handle wedges. Nice little lot of them. So that's everything from that lot. That was $50, and that was a ton of stuff. The money's there, tenfold. So, okay, let me get situated here. I'll use kind of the same angle that I've been using here on the stuff I'm going to show you next. Ready? And this is a garage sale pickup, actually. And then last I'll show you what I got at the farmer market. Okay. Nothing really too crazy here. This is just a file with a nice handle. Old Milwaukee hole shooter. It's got a Jacobs chuck, all steel trigger. Looks like the cord is all there, and it's not really too messed up. But when you flex it, it's got definitely some cracking in it. But this is nice. USA made. It says 1B hole shooter. It's like a drill to me. It even says hole shooter on the handle, but definitely nice. He had a few tools there. I grabbed 2 of these ratchets. Craftsman 1/4 inch. It's the teardrop, but it's got the different style lever there. So 1/4 inch Craftsman USA teardrop ratchet, and then the right, what does it say? K3400 3/8 ratchet. I have 2 of these in the house, so that makes 3. I just got a Napa 6-inch wire wheel. So this has got a max RPM of 6,000. So we'll see how this holds up. You know, I get the cheaper ones. I get the Harbor Freight wire wheels, or Home Depot has the cheap ones, like $8. But you know, they kick off a lot of bristles in it. You know, I don't like that. So I got a pile of magazines he had there, and these are cool. I mainly got it for the Easy Riders, but there's a whole bunch of Easy Riders. The Harley catalog. Easy Rider is a good magazine, so there's a bunch. There's probably a dozen or so Easy Rider magazines. So that was all that. I also got 2 huge shelves at that garage sale, and they're like 8 foot. They're wooden shelves, 8 foot each. So I got them to go along the bedroom wall to hang more tools. But they're nice natural wood shelves, and they're huge. They're brand new. Oh, okay. Figure out how I want to do this. I'm going to try to pull this whole tray up and show what we got. Alright. I think this is going to sit up here that well. It's a matter of improvising, that's all. So let me reposition this. Alright, so this stuff here was all from the flea market, which is every Sunday, and there's a bunch of junk there and some tools. So this is a Zephyr 1/4 inch drill, and I got this for $1. And I like this style. I mean, that's just cool. Why would they stop making them like this? I mean, look at this. If you know how comfortable this is, if you had to sit there and drill something, I mean, this is just, I mean, there's just no question about it. You hold this in your hand and you're solid. It's like, I don't know. I've always liked this style for $1. So this will go in the pile of power tools that are going to be cleaned up, and I have a whole bunch of them. So we got some oiler cans. This is a bigger flues. It's this one. Sheesh. Bear with me. Oh, there we go. This is a flues as well. It's got the USA made. See if I can get the capacity on it. 1 pint oiler pistol, 50-572. And these were a couple bucks each. These 3 oiler cans are bigger. This blue one I'm going to show you next is awesome. This is the biggest one I have in my entire collection. And it's got a little bit of rust on the handle. It's going to be cleaned up. And which one is this? Oh, yeah, this is an Eagle. It says it right there. It's got the stamping right there. That's an Eagle oiler can, and that's, yeah, man, that's got to be a couple pints anyway. It's big. It's got a really long spout. So, nice can. 3 more for the take that back. 5 more for the collection when you factor in the other 2. Okay. Bear with me. All right. Okay, this is an auto wrench. More Drop Forcing Company, Springfield, Mass. And it's got this little square bit on the end. There must be a reason for that, but it's in fairly good shape. Focus. It's in fairly good shape. Clean that up and put it in the collection. Nice. And we got the... I'm trying to read this offhand here. I can't quite make out that lettering on there. Sorry about that. But it's got an S. See the emblem there? And a number 5. Must be a perfect screwdriver, number 5. But I got that wood lathe, that Craftsman wood lathe. Maybe I'm going to try to learn how to turn some handles with it. Maybe I can make some replacement pieces there. It'd be nice to get this thing going again. Alright. And a Blue Point 324. Yeah, we got a nice little file. That's a Nicholson USA file. I'm starting to collect the ones with the handles. And this stuff was all a buck or two, you know, like nothing that I'm showing you was expensive at all. I got these little snap-on stubbies because it's a set. Phillips and flat. Very nice. That was $2 for that, $1 a piece. And this is also a snap-on. This is 50 cents. SD2 with the Octo Grip flat tip. This was $1. It's a snap-on number 1 Phillips. These were 25 cents, and they're Armstrong Pliers. Got a couple of these little ones. I'm starting to collect them now. 15, 19. I gotta clean these up a little bit better to make out the brand, but they're USA made. I know that, and they were they were 25 cents. 25 cents, and they're nice needle nose pliers with wire cutter. Another pair of snap ring pliers. These are Blue Point PR15s. They were $1. These are Klein & Sons Bell System needle nose pliers. They go with my Klein collection. And last, this is the most expensive piece that I got at the market. It was $3. Oh, geez. Okay, so this was $3, and it is Diamond Rapid Fire Drill. It's got a serial number, and it's the bit would go in the end here, and there would be a set screw that I'll have to find one. I got this to clean it up and repaint it, possibly. Maybe I might just leave it raw steel, but it's got nice wooden handles. It's got soft, medium, and hard settings. It's got the hand crank, and this is all there, but if this ever were to break or something, or something happened, I figured I could use the parts. This handle I could definitely use on a couple of things I have, but that's all there. It's got a little cotter pin. I could pop that out. This will all come apart. I'm not sure what's inside this drum, but it's probably going to be dicey. I think there's some kind of spring setup in there, but that'll have to be opened up and dealt with. So the handle is on there and is adjustable. Obviously, you're going to have it tightened with this bolt. Once it's set up the way you want it, you could have it on either side, and you tighten that there. It's got these real exaggerated fluted ends here, or I don't know what you'd call them, but nice steel handle. It's all steel, the whole thing, except the wooden handles. But for $3, I figured, I've never seen one of these ever, and I think it's cool. So I'll clean it up, and I'll put it in my collection somewhere. So I think that's it. I hope you got a kick out of the stuff that I got, and I got my hands full again. Here we go again. I gotta do my preliminary sorting of the stuff, and I prioritize what I'm going to clean up first, and then I go to town. So I'll be out here for a few more hours, and I'll keep you posted with any updates. And wow, I didn't realize that this video was 48 minutes long. Hopefully it was tolerable. I'm an amateur with YouTube, but anyways, appreciate it, you guys, as always, and hope you have a great night. Thanks.